Alright, so what I just wanted to do is kind of take a look at my process, I guess, for creating one of these bosses. And I'm not going to go through creating him from scratch because I already created one, like, I don't know, years ago. And, like, really at the beginning of this project. And this guy, his name is Dragos, and like lots of bosses, he's got like three stages to him. And you have this initial stage. Let me get the pencil. You have this initial stage where he's stationary, and a lot of these things right here are flying out. And really, what they do is say, let's go ahead and cut this. When they shoot out, they're going to come up to this point. There'll be a fixed height, and they will boom, explode, um, boom, 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 and it's not going to be directed at Lulu because I don't really know how to do that as far as like focus on a direction, and I don't care. I think I'd rather have it like he pops out three, and we have boom, 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 like offset from each other. So that's the initial one, and there'll be other enemies within the cave. Like this is going to take place in a cave. And I'll actually probably have him sort of in the end. Where is pressure? In the end, kind of maybe on a rock or something like that. So he's like that, like maybe resting. I don't know. We'll see. It really I haven't designed the background yet, and I know I'm going to keep it as a cave. So that's let's just put that aside. So the next stage is he's still going to have these things that fly out, but then he's also going to be coughing up this pod of some sort, which there's going to be a creature that comes out. And he's going to kind of, the pod's going to come like an offset, but it's going to, the like one pod after another will be offset enough so that you can fight the first pod and the second pod will come out um, just before you've actually killed the first one. So it'll make it a little bit hard, I guess. But again, I don't know how it's going to feel until I actually get it into gameplay and test some stuff out. So that's just my initial feel of it. And then once you've gotten his health down to a specific part, he goes into attack mode even further. So he actually, right now, I have him ripping his, like lashing onto, jumping up to the top and ripping his body in half and fighting with these tentacles, like his intestines. But I don't know if I'm actually going to go with that. I think, like initially, when the game was the early part of the game, or the game in its early state was a lot more violent, and there had lots of stuff like this going on where I wanted it to be gross and stuff like that. But I kind of got away from that being too much like that, and I like where it's going. So with him, while I'm showing you that initial thing that I was going to do, I'm getting further away from that. Come on. So I'm probably, well, why am I saying probably? I've kind of decided that I'm not going to have this up here, so yeah. Come on. There you go. So the next thing is I decided, well, let me try this. And this will only be one of the attacks, because the thing I'm actually going to keep is these mosquito, not mosquito, jeez, these little flyer things popping out of him. He's still going to have this. I'm just going to replace this part, but it's not going to be part of the third stage. The one I'm showing here will just be part of the battle itself. Like, let's say every 15 seconds or something like that, or 20 seconds, I don't know. He leaps through the air and does a roll or something. Like, I want this to be an attack where he red, where he's going to, and this is one of the things I'm going to actually add to him, is he's going to kind of have a pod back here. There's going to be about 3 of them, so that's a little bit too big. So let's say We have 3 pods back here, so that when he lands here, that's part of what Lulu's going to attack. And you'll kill 1 pod, and then he'll disappear and reemerge over here, or something like that. And, of course, the cycle begins again. So we all know that playing games. We have the, the boss scenarios where you recognize there's a pattern, which is great because we need to see a certain pattern that we can use to plan our attacks. And it's like, for the animators out there, it's kind of like timing and spacing. So you have, of course, like the classic way of showing this. Let me just change a color. Like a classic way of showing this is like with the sphere. Like you have, oh, right. Just bear with me. Like you have this. And where is the bomb? Yes, I know. So you have frame 1 and 12 or whatever it is that you have. Let's say, yeah, I don't know, 18. And that's the timing. We have timing between 1 and 18. Now the spacing between that timing is going to depend. It's going to illustrate the how heavy the object is or how fast it's moving. Like we have this where, that's terrible. What am I doing with that color? Let's make it, yes, I know. Yes, I know. So the closer objects are together, the slower it's going to be. The further apart they are, the faster it's going to be. So if we took this and just keep... Okay, obviously I've gone way over 18 frames, so just bear with me. Let's just pretend it's a different time. So that movement right there, everything's evenly spaced, the movement itself, through 18 frames, even though this is like, I don't know, 45 or something. And whereas this, we're going to have it slow out of that, and the spacing gets further apart, and now it starts to speed up, and we could either do overshoot or slow in to that. So obviously the closer images are together, the slower it is. The further apart they are, the faster it gets. And it's the relationship between the two of them, the slow in, slow out. You can't just have an object moving from here to here, whoops, to here, and there, and expect it to read, to be able to understand like what's going on. It's going to have sort of this strobe effect. So there's a little lesson in timing and spacing. But the whole point of why I brought that up is, oh no, not merge layers. Don't do that to me. Okay, there we go. The whole reason why I brought that up is the overall timing and spacing of the events will help you obviously understand, the player understand how things are moving along, I guess. It's, if you understand what I just talked about or you don't, I mean, it's either way. I think maybe it's a far-fetched explanation or way too analyzed, whatever. So aside from those other attacks where he has the pods coming out, he's burping up the other pod, which he's kind of influenced by Darwin's frog. And if you've never heard of that before, go to Google and check it out. Basically, this frog birthed, I think it's they actually, like they are born within inside of him, or I forget. The main point of what I thought was interesting about it is he basically coughs up his kids. And I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. So that's where it kind of came out with this one here, coughing that up. No. But I really like, this is going to be a big heavy attack here where he's jumping from left to right and right to left. Now, one of the cool things I thought about is probably getting way off topic here, but I don't care. It's still going through the process of what I'm doing. Let me give it a background. Boop. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Now, one thing I thought might be cool is when he's jumping like that, I could have him roll into a ball, and I'm not going to have him turn into that thing. I ended up using this little thing here for other stuff, so ignore that. But I was going to have him turn into a ball, but then I don't know how he exits from that. And honestly, this right here is going to be one of the toughest animations I've done so far. It really is. I'm kind of terrified of it. I'm always terrified of the backgrounds and the animation doing this, everything. I kind of approach it like, oh my god, this is gonna suck, but I have to get through it, and I think it's gonna be awesome, but it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna suck, and kind of have that process the entire time until you get to the point where it's like, oh my god, this turned out great. So that's always happy. But this is going to be, there's a lot of expectation about what this character is going to do. It has to feel like a boss. To see the size relationship between him and Lulu is character animation. Lulu renders idle. She's going to be about that tall, and I actually might have her a little bit smaller because I really want to have this creature, this imposing sort of, this, like, is Lulu infringing upon his territory, or is he a part of the overall network of the bad guys, the Sevis infection? I don't know. Probably is. I mean, why wouldn't I do that? It doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. Boom, boom. Bow, 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 Mario style. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. You're dead. If it were only that easy. Can't we be friends? No. I don't want to be a friend. I hate everyone. That's too bad, because I love you. Until I kill you, because you're going to kill me. So, what I was thinking about is possibly, let's say this is the cave, okay? And I'm not supposed to be drawing it on that. So let's say this is the cave. This is the, I know there's going to be a passageway that he's blocking, so that's part of why I need to kill him. But also, even when he jumps over here, I still won't be able to get through this passage until he's dead. Why, I don't know yet, but there will be a reason. So we have the ground, and we have the other side of this cave. So what I'm thinking about is there's going to be an opening here, and I'll have him, let me capture him out of here. Yeah, I started out with, I'm going to show you how I approached redesigning him, but you know what? This is much more fun right now. So he'll be about this big, or maybe even bigger. And when he jumps through the air, well, obviously through the air, where else the hell is he going to jump? Let's make this multiply. So when he jumps through the air, he's going to go for this hole. And every time he ends up in that hole, he's going to momentarily be stuck. Okay? Okay. And with that, because I'm going to end up putting on these 3 bulbs, or these 3 parts that, you can kill, since he'll be momentarily stuck there, or just like crawling through there, then that's when Lulu has the chance to like, pow, pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow. And then one will pop, and he goes further back, into the hole. And maybe, I might have another hole over here, like where he comes out of, or maybe he crawls out of this spot right here. And again, why wouldn't Lulu be able to just go, I'm gonna go over here since you're captured? And then he'll come out and we'll go through the same scenario again, just, going through this pattern of surviving, attacking him. Like maybe there'll be a point up front here where, he has pods up here too that he's firing from, and you can actually attack those pods. So once you kill one of those, that's when he's like, no, I can't take it anymore. Jumps through the air and then goes bump, and then gets stuck. Now, ooh, wait a minute. What would be cool? No, it wouldn't be cool. I was going to say maybe he could actually jump from here, and then this point he would actually almost turn into like a ball shape, and then that goes back into here and he gets stuck, or it's just slow moving. I don't know, because I do think he should have something where it's not just jumping over here. It's like Lulu needs something to actually attack him. I don't know. That could be cool. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But again, I'm gonna have to do kind of a test animation, put it in the engine, set it up, and see how it overall feels with the responsiveness that the player expects, the player responsiveness. And basically, player responsiveness, we all know what that is. It's we, the player, are anticipating the action, and we expect a certain result. Like when you jump, getting rid of the more realistic games, a game like this, you don't want her to anticipate the jump. When you get to the edge of something and you press A or whatever, then you expect her to dun, 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 boom, jump like that. It's not a dun, 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 anticipation jump, because that would kill the overall rhythm and pacing of the game. It's annoying. So, like, it's annoying, just like your voice. So that's sort of what it is. So, yeah, I'm actually just going to leave it there. I'm not going to say, let's redesign the character, because obviously I went over a little bit of how I might approach the overall boss situation, I guess. And obviously you see this little tongue here. It's almost like a frog-like. That's another thing where I'm thinking what I want to do is, let's say this is a wall, and it's actually just a straight line, and he whips out his tongue, and it gets stuck every time. And while he's doing that, that's another way of attacking something up here. I don't know. Obviously, I have tons of ideas, lots of ideas on how I want to approach this, and we'll see what sticks. But the main ones I really want to make sure that I keep, because I think they'll be cool, is this initial. It's very easy. This, shooting these pods. His jump is a definite, and we'll see what happens with the other stuff. Okay. Well, that's all I have for you now, so signing off. Goodbye. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these red lines, because they're annoying, and they're like following me around. Like someone's watching me. I'm going to go stand on these pods. These pods smell good. I don't want to kill him, but he's going to kill me, so I'm going to kill him. Pop, pop, pop. I win. Da-da-da-da-da. Let's go save Orion. And one thing here, just take a look at the frog jump, and that's definitely what I'm going to use as an example for how I handle his jump, at least his initial jump. Boom. Boom. And what's great about this is I love the anticipation he has, and you're going to expect that. You expect this anticipation from like a boss, because it gives you a chance to react, to get out of the way. So he's got this nice anticipation. There's really strong pushing off of the back legs and extending. So you look at the overall arc of the jump itself, and you can see where I kind of borrowed that from. And then he has this nice squash, but I'm not going to have him land like that. So Yeah.